Hello, everybody. I've never done a vlog before, but I recently realized I was rather fortunate to have the unique experience of attending both UCLA and USC for like undergraduate coursework, I guess you could say. I went to UCLA for undergrad, and I graduated in 2015. And then I was in the pre-medical post-baccalaureate program at USC, which is you're basically like an undergrad pre-med student. So I figured a lot of people are probably trying to decide which one to go to. They're both ranked very similarly, and they're similarly competitive to get into, and both attract super motivated students. So I'm hoping that I can maybe clear up some confusion and just give you some information as far as what it's like to go to both schools. So yeah, I figured I'd just touch on some of the things that you're probably concerned about, and maybe some relevant topics or areas of interest. I don't know really where I'm going with this. I just have some stuff to talk about here on this list that I think might help you out. Okay, so first, I have the food. I figure people want to know what the food's like, because you're no longer going to have your mom or your cousin or your uncle or yourself or your dad or whoever usually cooks for you cooking for you. So what is the food like, since the dining hall is your new mom? The food at UCLA is bomb. The dining halls are so good at UCLA. You will be able to put on that freshman 15 no problem. Put on that freshman 30. That's also well within reach. You'll have that gut hanging right over that waistband in no time. There's a ton of different dining halls. They're all delicious. There's really good pizza. Oh my gosh, the pizza. Anyways, yeah, the dining halls at UCLA are super good. I think they're ranked like second in the country to like Cornell or something by some arbitrary list that my friend was telling me about. So yeah, it's good. Then as far as like on-campus dining at UCLA, you have Ackerman Union, which is like a student union. There you have Taco Bell, Carl's Jr., Jamba Juice, Rubio's, Panda Express, Sbarro, this like greenhouse place, which is like a salad bar. And you also have, if you're trying to get fancy, the Wolfgang Puck Express. And at the Wolfgang Puck Express, you can like go sit down. They serve like nice beer. That's like, if I don't know who my roommates went to that, got drunk for like $50, so stupid. But anyways, yeah, that's super nice. There's a ton of different options. USC, I can't really speak to the dining halls because I lived off campus, so I never had a meal plan. Typically, a meal plan goes along with your like dorm. So I've heard that the USC dining halls are okay. They get the job done. From what I understand, they're not as good as UCLA's, but you certainly won't starve. And then as far as like on-campus dining, there's in their like student union area, you have The Habit. It's a burger place. You have California Pizza Kitchen Express. It's like they already have pizzas there. You just walk up and get it. They have, did I mention Panda Express? They have Panda Express. They have this place called Verde, which is like a crappy knockoff Chipotle. I wouldn't even put it like in the same league as Chipotle. It's pretty garbage in my opinion. And they also have like they have a lemonade, you know, the restaurant lemonade. So for you hipsters, you can go convince yourself that you're saving the earth by eating at lemonade. But for sure, the dining edge goes to UCLA. Okay, social scene / culture. I'm a pretty firm believer that your social scene in college and how good of a time you have is really kind of dependent on what you make it. It's like if you go join stuff and become part of the school and get involved, your life will be eons better. Naturally, if you go to like some super strict private Christian school or something where they have a lot of rules, there's not going to be a whole lot of party scene. Or if you go to like a crazy party school, then sure, it'll be a little crazier. But both schools have a strong social scene as long as you get involved. If you're looking to party your damn eyeballs out, join the Greek system, join one of the top fraternities or sororities. Then you can really get nutty and make a bunch of regrettable decisions and look back on your life knowing that you took 10 years off of it when you were in college. But yeah, join clubs, get involved if you want to have a good time. There's also much more wholesome ways to have fun than joining a fraternity or sorority. There's lots of other things to get involved with that aren't related to drinking. But yeah, it's kind of a toss-up. Um, there's hard drugs floating around both schools. If you seek them out, you'll find them. I don't condone doing any of that. Let's see, competitiveness and quality of instruction. Both schools are very competitive to get into, as you probably already know if you're looking at these schools. I think UCLA is like now the most applied to school in the country, and they both have acceptance rates of right around 20%. So they're both tough to get into. I'm not on the admissions committee, but I would suggest having like over 2,000 SAT and very, very strong grades and extracurricular activities. Quality of instruction. Um, I'm gonna have to go USC. I know it sounds terrible to say, but UCLA, a lot of the professors, English simply isn't their first language, and they just are simply, a lot of the professors are really hard to understand. And that's something to consider when you're going for an education, especially if you're in the hard sciences. You're going to run into a lot more of that with people with English as their second, third, fourth, or fifth language. Um, so yeah, USC is a little better at recruiting English-speaking professors in my experience. Oh, going back to competitiveness too, how cutthroat is it at each school? I'd say they're both pretty equally cutthroat. The hard science majors like pre-med, engineering, that type of thing, those are exceptionally competitive. The competition in these majors is insane. You see all kinds of backstabbery, and you see the worst in everybody, as people are just trying to sabotage each other and move up on that curve. So those are some things to consider. But yeah, competitiveness, pretty darn equal. Let's see, the cost, if you don't know already, USC is a private school and UCLA is a public school. USC is much more expensive. USC is about $45,000 for tuition. And then on top of that, you have like your living expenses. And I want to see what the lighting looks like if I open this. Better or worse? I don't know. I'm sweating in here. I'm like a dog in a hot car. Anyways, run the AC for a second. Woo! Oh, that's already open. That's why it's not doing anything. But yeah, USC's $45,000 plus like 15 grand in living expenses. So you're looking at like 60 grand a year. Important to know if you have gracious parents, if your parents can afford that, before getting your heart set on USC. UCLA, it depends whether you live in state or out of state. I was born and raised in Orange County, California, so I'm in state. And in-state tuition at UCLA is just under $13,000. It's like 12 something, and then plus that you have living expenses. It's probably like just under 30 a year. It's well less than half what you'd be paying at USC. I can tell you that. So UCLA is for sure the bargain, and honestly, I really don't think there's much difference between the schools. As far as I don't think the tuition difference is justified, is what I'm trying to say. I think all of USC's money goes to the football team. That's my little conspiracy theory. And then let's see, how about support? Like academic support. This is like, say you need to change majors, or hold on, I'm wiping my brow, I'm sweating. Anyways, say you need to change majors, or you need to, God knows what, you're trying to change your status from in-state, or change your status from out-of-state to in-state, or stuff like that. You'll have to go through, at UCLA at least, you'll go through Murphy Hall, which is kind of like the DMV of UCLA. And let me tell you, the support at Murphy Hall sucks. It's terrible. It's hard enough even reaching a human being. You'll just be thrown through all kinds of loops. But say eventually you do get a darn human being on the phone, I guarantee you it'll be like pulling teeth to get any information or help out of these people. If you go to a counselor at UCLA, in my experience, there are exceptions, don't get me wrong. But you go in looking for some help as far as maybe what courses you want to take the next quarter. They're almost like, in my experience, upset that you're in their office and you're like, this is literally your job. Like, help me out here. USC is much better. If you email people, they get back to you. If you go to see people, they talk to you, and they're much happier to help you out. That's something to consider. Oh, also one last thing that I just thought of when I mentioned classes next quarter is UCLA is on the quarter system and USC is on the semester system. The quarter system is it's really fast moving. So basically, 3 times during the regular school year, you're gonna have an entirely new schedule. So you have fall quarter, winter quarter, and spring quarter, and that's kind of your traditional school year that goes until June, and then you have summer. So those four kind of make up the quarter system. It's really three. So, but keep in mind that you'll be registering like all the time for new classes. So, like, say it's fall quarter, it's like each quarter is 10 weeks long. So you'll be like in fifth week. It's like midterm season, right? And then you're also on top of studying for midterms, you're registering for the following quarter, which would be winter quarter. So keep that in mind. It's moving super fast, but you get to see a bunch of different professors in different classes, and it's nice if you don't like a course, then it's going to be over in 10 weeks anyway, so you can just move on. I personally like the semester system just because I hate doing stuff like registering, and it's annoying, and I hate doing weird things like that. And I like that it moves more slowly, and you can get more acclimated to the material before you're being bombarded with midterms. So those are my 2 cents. They're both fantastic schools. If you have any other questions, just comment, I guess. I've never made a YouTube video before. Um, but yeah, I'm just making this to hopefully clear up some misconceptions. I'm by no means a professional vlogger or video logger, but I have been to college. So if you have any questions about those schools, feel free to hit me up, and I'll be sure to get back to you. I hope this was helpful and not too boring. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. Good luck with your future, everyone.